Today I'm making one of the most flavorful rice dishes in the world. Hi, I'm Sharmi and today I'm making Hyderabadi chicken biryani. Biryani has a lot of ingredients and it sounds quite complicated to make, but if you follow my instructions, it will be quite easy and it will come out perfect every time. In this video, I will also share the exact proportions and timings so you can cook the perfect chicken biryani every time. A perfect chicken biryani will be aromatic and fluffy with tender pieces of meat. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button and also press the notification icon. It doesn't cost you anything, but it will really help me out. There are more than 28 varieties of biryanis in India, but the Hyderabadi biryani is called the king of biryanis. The key flavors in Hyderabadi biryani comes from a few ingredients: crispy fried onions, the green aromatic combination of coriander, mint and green chilies, and a blend of warm spices. Now let's talk about the rice. The right variety of rice will greatly improve your chances of getting the perfect biryani. I'm using this aged long grain basmati rice. The aged basmati rice is more firm and it will not get mushy. You can definitely use a regular basmati rice, but aged basmati rice is more forgiving and it is definitely suitable for a beginner. I'm using this aged basmati rice. You can see the package, it says aged. The quality of this one is pretty good. Let me show you a regular basmati rice. This is the basmati rice I'm using. It is aged and long grain, and this is the regular basmati rice. It's shorter and you can see the color is lighter. Aged basmati rice will be little bit darker. If you're using a regular basmati, the boiling time will be less. Now let's talk about the ratio. For 1 kilo of chicken, use 4 cups of rice. This will be around 700 grams of rice. Now let's prepare the rice. It's very important to wash the rice for biryani. We will wash it till the water runs clear. It will take around 6 to 7 times. Wash it gently so that you don't break the grains. Washing the rice will reduce the starch and will help keep the individual grains of rice separate. You can see the water is clear. We will soak the rice for at least 1 hour. We are using room temperature water. Another key ingredient for biryani is fried onions. This is also called Birista. I'm using 4 of these medium to large red onions. You can make this in advance or you can also buy ready-made from the shop. But I prefer to make my own for biryani. So let's cut the onions. So I will cut them into thin slices. Try to make them as even as possible so that they fry at the same time. So you can see the slice is not very thick or very thin. This is the size I'm looking for. So let's cut rest of the onions. Separate the onions. We don't want them to stick together while frying. Otherwise it will not be crispy. Now my onions are ready to fry. I'm using my Dutch oven to cook my biryani. They're perfect for biryanis because they have a heavy bottom and a heavy lid which will fit perfectly. So I will use this to fry my onions, to marinate my chicken and to cook my biryani. If you don't have a heavy bottom pan, you can use any wide pan to make biryani. I will show you a trick later which will make it work. Now let's fry the onions. Heat up the pan and add 1 cup of oil. The oil is to fry the onions so that they can be crispy. You can use this leftover oil for cooking. It will be onion infused oil. Keep the heat on high because the moment you add the onions, the temperature of the oil will reduce. I will fry them at high heat till the temperature of the oil comes back to high. Then I will reduce the heat to medium. We'll fry the onions till they are light golden brown. This will take around 10 to 15 minutes. My onions are almost done. Keep an eye on them, otherwise they will burn quite easily. My onions are done. I will strain them and put it in the paper towel. Spread them out so that they become more crispier. Our Birista is ready. Once they cool down, they will become crispier. While my onions are cooling down, let's talk about the biryani masala. You know me, I like to make my own masala. So I'm going to make my own biryani masala. They always taste better and you can make it in bulk and store them. But you can also use a store-bought one. You can find a biryani masala in most Indian stores. If you can't find a Hyderabadi biryani masala, any biryani masala will work. This is what I'm using for my biryani masala. The measurements are for 1 kilo of chicken. 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds, 2 teaspoons of shahi jeera, which is called black cumin, 1 black cardamom, 1 inch cinnamon stick, 1 teaspoon black pepper, 5 cloves, 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds, 2 maize flowers, 8 green cardamom pods, and half a nutmeg, which I will grate. Green cardamom, maize, nutmeg, and black cumin, which is called shahi jeera, are the key ingredient for Hyderabadi biryani. So try not to skip them. Now we will roast the spices and grind them. Heat up the pan, keep it on medium. Before adding the black cardamom, I will break the pot and take the seeds out because the skin is really rough, so I don't want in my masala. So we are only using the seeds of the black cardamom. Now add the spices to the pan, except the nutmeg, and just slightly roast them. I'll just break up the maize flour and the cinnamon stick. I have reduced the heat because my pan is really hot. I don't want to burn the spices. This is done. It takes hardly 2 minutes. I will take out the spices from the pan and let it cool down. My spices have cooled down, so let's grind them. Wow, I wish you can smell this. So aromatic. Now I will grate the nutmeg over it. My Hyderabadi biryani masala is ready. This is around 3 tablespoons of biryani masala. My biryani masala is ready. Now let's marinate the chicken. There are 2 ways to make a biryani, kachi or pakki. Kachi means we use raw meat directly to make the biryani. In the pakki method, we cook the meat first. You can use any of the methods, but the kachi method is more authentic for the Hyderabadi biryani. This also makes it more simpler and easier. Do not worry about the chicken not being cooked. The chicken will definitely cook in the biryani. For the chicken, I'm using 1 kg of chicken drumsticks. You can also use chicken thighs. For biryani, we use bone-in and skinless chicken pieces. Don't use chicken breast because it will get dry and chewy. I'm marinating the chicken in the same pot where I'm going to cook the biryani. Let's marinate the chicken. Here goes my chicken. 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. 1 tablespoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. Kashmiri red chili powder is quite mild. Half a teaspoon of turmeric. Paste of 2 green chilies for the heat. Salt for the marinade. This is around 1.5 teaspoon. This is for the chicken marination, and when I will cook the rice, I will add salt separately for the rice. 1 tablespoon of my homemade biryani masala. 1.5 cup of yogurt. Whisk it before adding to the marinade. I will add a few strings of saffron. I will add 80% of my fried onion into the marination. I will use rest of the onions for layering. I have around 1 cup of coriander and half cup of mint. I will chop this up and I will add half of this to the marinade. Half of the coriander and half of the mint. Rest of this will go in the biryani layering. This is my oil from the fried onion. I will add 4 tablespoons of it. This oil will help keep the chicken moist. Mix them well. Combine everything together. Make sure the chicken is nicely coated with all the marinade. I forgot to add the lemon juice, so I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. We will marinate this for 1 hour. If you have time and if you have planned ahead, you can marinate it for longer time. If you're doing it more than 2 hours, just don't add the yogurt. But 1 hour is good enough. My rice has been soaking for 1 hour. Now it's time to drain them. Let the water drain. Now we will boil the rice for the biryani. We will boil it till it's 50% done. Remember a few things. Take a big pot and take enough water to completely cover the rice so that the rice grains have enough space. I'm putting some boiling water to speed up the process. My water is coming to a boil. I will add the salt. We need lots of salt. I'm adding around 3 tablespoons of salt. We need to salt the water heavily so that my rice gets seasoned properly. Remember, we are not using the liquids. That's why we need to season it heavily. It should taste like the ocean water. And this is the only time we will be adding the salt for the rice. So don't forget it. Otherwise, you will ruin the biryani. Now I will add some more ingredients to the water. 3 bay leaves, 2 green chilies. I will just break them apart. little bit of the chopped coriander and little bit of the chopped mint. Some lemon juice, around 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of oil. This is the oil that I use to fry the onions. And 1 inch of cinnamon stick. Bring to a rolling boil. Let it boil for 1 or 2 minutes before adding the rice. While my water is boiling, I will make the saffron milk because later on I will not get the time. I'm going to add a pinch of saffron, and to bring the color, I will just grind them. Now I will add half a cup of milk. Mix them again. This is my saffron milk. If you don't have saffron, you can also use pinch of turmeric or food color. I will warm this up in the microwave for 30 seconds. My saffron milk has warmed up. Now I will add 1 teaspoon of my biryani masala. Mix them well and my saffron milk is ready. I will also melt 2 tablespoons of ghee and keep it ready. My ghee is ready. I'm keeping all my ingredients ready before I cook the rice. My marinated chicken, fried onion, coriander, mint, lemon, ghee, biryani masala and my saffron milk. This will all go into the layering. Now let's boil the rice. My water has been boiling for 2 minutes. Now I will add the rice. Give a gentle stir and let it come to a boil again. It should take around 2 to 3 minutes. My water has started to boil again. Now I will boil the rice for 3 minutes before adding to the chicken. I'll keep this boiling and keep adding the rice to the chicken. Drain the water and spread the rice evenly over the chicken. Make a nice even layer, but don't press them. If you find any of the spices, just take it off. I'm adding half of the rice. Now I will do the layering. Here goes my fried onion, coriander, mint, little bit of biryani masala. Now I will add the rest of the rice. Remember, my rice is still cooking. This will be more cooked than the bottom layer. Now I will add rest of the ingredients. Another layer of fried onion, coriander, mint, my biryani masala, squeeze of lemon, my saffron water, just spread it evenly. It will seep down to the bottom and it will color the rice and flavor the rice. Lastly, I will add half of the ghee. Now I will create a seal using some aluminium foil. I will add a little bit of water so that it sticks together. You can also seal it with some dough. That's how it's done traditionally. It needs to be completely sealed. There should not be any vapor coming out of it. That's called dum. That means the air is circulating inside it and cooking the rice and the chicken. Now I will cover it with my lid. So this one is quite heavy, so I don't need anything else, but if it's quite light, just put a heavy utensil over it. Now it's ready to cook. While cooking the biryani, it is important that heat is distributed evenly. If you have a heavy bottom pot, it will usually be fine. If you're using a light bottom pot, I recommend using a flat pan on the bottom. You can use any old pan that you have. You can place the pan over the heat and heat it up. Once your pan is really hot, then you can place your pot on top. This will ensure that heat is distributed properly. Even though I have a heavy bottom pan, still I'm going to use this so that the heat get evenly distributed. My pan is hot. Now I will place the biryani pot over it. First thing, we are not touching the lid or the pot till the biryani is cooked. Secondly, we will cook this at high heat for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I will reduce the heat to its lowest setting and cook it for another 30 minutes. My biryani has been cooking at low heat for 30 minutes. Now I will switch off the heat and let it rest for 10 minutes. Now is the moment of truth. Remove the lid and let it steam out for 5 minutes. Our Hyderabadi chicken biryani is ready. This is looking beautiful. Drizzle the rest of the ghee. I wish you can smell the aroma of the spices and the saffron. My whole kitchen is filled with this aroma. Now let's serve the biryani. To serve the biryani, we will use different layers to plate it. Use a flat spatula and fluff off the rice from the corner. Make sure to serve all the different layers on the plate. The saffron has given a nice color to the rice. You can see there is nothing sticking to the bottom. The rice is perfectly cooked and fluffy. You can see the individual grains of rice. The chicken is looking tender and moist. Let's make a quick raita with yogurt, cucumber and onions. Season with some salt, roasted cumin, coriander and mint. Little bit of black salt will add some extra flavor, but this is completely optional. Our raita is ready. My Hyderabadi chicken biryani is ready. It's looking beautiful, amazing and delicious. So let's give it a try. So yummy. Rice is moist, fluffy. Each grain is separate from each other but cooked so perfectly. And chicken is juicy, moist and fall apart. It has absorbed all the flavor and aroma of the spices. You get the flavor of the warm spices and the saffron. The saffron adds a nice color and floral notes to the dish. You also get a nice freshness from the mint and coriander. Let me try this with the raita. The raita is cool, creamy and crunchy. It's complementing the warmth of the biryani so nicely. If you're making biryani, make this raita with it. I've given you my step-by-step recipe to make this Hyderabadi chicken biryani. Just follow the steps and it will come out perfect. So give this biryani a try. The more you will make it, the easier it will get. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Please like, share and subscribe and see you in the next video.